Hello and welcome to another E2 tutorial. In today's video, we'll look at developing an explanatory dashboard. An explanatory dashboard is a data visualization tool designed to highlight key insights and answer specific business questions, helping users understand the why behind performance trends and outcomes. We will be creating this explanatory dashboard using the Adidas dataset. I would have that linked in the YouTube description below. The goal of this data or this case study is to create a dashboard that focuses on the profit metrics for Adidas. The data comprises information from 2020 to 2021 and would look at the where, the how, and the who drove performance in this data set. Let's look at some of the components of this case study. We're going to be given the situation as well as the assignment. For the situation, we're taking it that you just joined the Business Insight team at Adidas USA, which is a leading global sports brand, and the company operates across various regions, product lines, and retail partners. And it's aiming to optimize profitability in a competitive and fast-paced market. Our assignment is to create an explanatory dashboard for the executive sales team to help them understand key drivers of profits across regions, retailers, and sales methods. The team meets quarterly and they need a clear view of profit trends, performance by sales channel, top performing retail partners, and regional hotspots or underperformers. I'm going to outline some of the key steps that we can follow as we develop this explanatory dashboard. The first is defining the purpose. The second is exploring the data. The third is designing your visuals. The fourth is sketching your dashboard. Build the dashboard. Use layouts to focus attention. And finally, tell a clear story. In the next slide, I will explain each of these steps one after the other. Defining the dashboard, defining the purpose. We need to ask ourselves, who is the audience or stakeholders for this project? And based on this case study, we know that it's the executive sales team. That takes us to the next question. What are their business goals and objectives? And if you remember from the situation and assignment, they're basically looking at maximizing profitability. They're also looking at identifying the top performing regions and retail partners, as well as the sales channel. Our third question is, what specific questions do they need answers to? And these are some of those questions which I have been able to develop. So what are the profit trends over time? Which states or regions are driving the most profit? Which retailers are our most and least profitable partners? Which sales method is performing best? And finally, how often will the dashboard be reviewed? Now, we would say this dashboard is going to be reviewed every quarter whenever the executive sales team meets. Now, in terms of exploring the data, when you download this data set from the YouTube description below, my first advice is for you to open up the data on Excel file. Look at some of the variables that we have in this data. Try to understand the meaning of these variables. Also, check if there are any missing values or outliers or any variable that you don't really understand and you need more clarity on. That is some of the basic things about exploring the data. The next thing we'll do, or the next part of exploring that data, is to look at some of the business goals and how we can match them to some metrics as well as a level of details. So the major business goal is to increase profit, right? Or to look at what area is bringing in the most profit for the company. Now, some of the metrics we can look at to understand profit is the total profit, the month-over-month profit change, the profit by sales channel, the profit by retail partner, the profit by state. And in terms of the level of detail, we could look at total profit by the quarter, the region, the retailer, the state, the sales method, right, and so on. Now, the second business goal was to identify regional performance gap. And the metric, we could do a profit heat map or a sales channel mix. And for the level of detail, we could do this on a state or region level. And for the sales channel, we could also do it on a regional level. Now, what charts will help us to be able to create these metrics? So that leads us into designing your visuals. So total profit by quarter, profit by retailer, profit by state, profit by sales method, total profit and sales, and the quantity as well, which is the units sold, as well as the sales method distribution by region, and some of the metrics that we want to look at. In the previous slide, you can list as many metrics as possible that you want. Remember, this should be things that you can easily get from the data. Or you can create calculated field to merge two or more variables in your data to get these new metrics. Now, the visual type we'll be using for total profit by quarter is a line chart, profit by retailer, a bar chart, profit by state, a field map, profit by sales method, a donut chart, and so on. Typically, you want around 4 to 5 charts on your dashboard. Sometimes I think 3 to 4 charts as well are also very good. You don't want to clutter the dashboard, right? So you just want to select the most important charts that you need to show on this dashboard. Other times you can create all of these charts first and then try to select it and see which ones make sense to be included on your dashboard. Now, the next thing we would do after you know what type of visual you should use to show these metrics is to create a sketch. So using the Notability app, I've been able to come up with just a sketch of how I want this dashboard to look like. It's a sketch and it gives me an idea of how to place things on the dashboard. My dashboard may turn out not to look like this sketch, but at least I know that I have a sketch. So please, my advice to you as you look at creating dashboards, apart from identifying the problem, coming up with questions, defining your purpose or exploring the data, as well as identifying the metrics, create a sketch of your dashboard, because that would help you know how to position certain things within that dashboard. Now, finally, we're going to build the dashboard based on all of those charts that we have identified in the previous slide. We're also going to use layouts to focus the attention and make sure certain charts are placed in a certain position to help tell a clear story. And finally, we're just going to tell our story. So to keep this video short and concise, I will build the charts, the dashboard, and the layouts to focus attention and finally tell a clear story, since this is an explanatory dashboard. So let's go over to Tableau and start building or developing each of those charts and transfer them into the dashboard. Okay, so I have my data already uploaded or imported into Tableau. So I'm just going to go ahead and start by creating the very first sheet. And what I want to create here is profit by quarter. So I'll put the invoice date and I would change this to quarter. Oh, no. Yeah. And then take the operating profit, the rows. All right. So this is basically what I want. Yeah. So we can see it here at the end of the fourth quarter in 2021. They made around $71.8 million in profit. So let's clean up this chart to make sure it looks good before we go to the next one. I just like to make sure that my charts are looking good before I start creating another one, so I don't have to come back to this anymore. So I will start by selecting the color. So this is typically the color I want to use, right? So I can be consistent all through. So to get here, you could just click on this one, and then you can search for this color code 003366, and then just click OK. So my line chart is going to take that color. Then I'm going to format it and take out all the, okay, my borders and row dividers are already none. All right. And then I will set this to back to 10. And then I don't need the title as written profit because I already have profit by quarter here. So take that out too. We need to format this. So we have the custom 0 millions. I'm just making sure I have a very good formatting. And then, all right, so on my tooltip, right, so I want to take all of this out, right, preview 2020 Q1. So rather, so what I'm thinking of there is, I think I could put this here and make this, let's see, maybe 14. Yeah, maybe the other way around. Yeah, $10 million 2020 Q1. So everything is black. So I used 10 font size and then 14 on the other one. So, okay, so that's what you should see there. All right. Now, come to text label and then select the most recent one. So we only want this one, but we also have to make sure that this is abbreviated to just 72 million, or let's say 71.8. So I will first most recent I am going to make this no. Maybe the same. Yeah, 71.8. Or better still, let's just make it 0 decimal places, so 72 million. Right. So I think we're done with this. Yes. So our profit by quarter is looking good. So let's create the next strat, which is profit by state. I'm just going to call it profit by state. So drag the state and drop it on detail, and that would automatically populate all of the states in the US that we have in this data set. And the next thing we could do here is to put our operating profit in color, right? All right, so we have that there. I am going to edit this title and just call it profit. And then I will edit the colors, use the custom sequential, click on it, make sure you're selecting the 003366. Okay, apply. Okay, all right. Now, I don't want to see Canada and Mexico, and I believe this is Russia on this side. So let's map, no, not map options, background layers, and then just wash everything out. All right, this is what you get. Now, I also just want to kind of focus on this ones first. We'll come back to all the others, Alaska and Hawaii, but let's focus on this first. So we have that. The other thing I could do is, I think I'd like it if I use the black lines to differentiate the state, sorry, the white lines to differentiate the state borders. So we can go to color, no, not this one. Cancel, go to color, border, just make it white, right? So it should look like this. Way much nicer and clean. Now the next thing we will do is edit the tooltip. So take that out, preview. Yeah, so but we could make this centered black. We could make this, no, it didn't go. We could make it 14. Activate. I think 14 is okay. So click OK. Then let's format it. Currency custom 0. Yes. All right, so we can see all of that amount. All right. So that's basically it. Now the next thing I want to do is just duplicate. So click on that sheet, duplicate, and I would call this profit by Alaska. Then I'm just going to shift this so I can bring Alaska into play. So make sure you have it on this option here to allow you, pan it left or right on the map. So this is it. But I think my Alaska is too big. I can zoom out a little bit and then use this zoom tool to properly focus on Alaska. Yes, I think we've got Alaska there. I think we can still see. All right, so we have Alaska there. I will go back to the profit by state. You can see that if you look here, we still have the borders. I need to make sure that we take out all of that. So go to borders, none, right? So we have a very clean chart there. And then profit by Alaska, I would do the same thing, format, none. So I've taken all of that out. I would duplicate this again. And this time I will call it Hawaii because we're going to go look for Hawaii now. So there it is. I'm just going to zoom in. Good. So take this back to pan so you can see this is just Hawaii, $6 million, right? Okay, so far we've created 4 charts: profit by quarter, profit by state, profit. We've then focused on Alaska and then Hawaii. So let's go ahead and create the profit by retailer. So this is profit by retailer. So that is going to be a bar chart, right? So let's put it there. And the retailer, we'll put it in the rows, right? So you have this. And then we need to make sure that we select that color. So 00366, that one. So click OK. You could always just click it here once you've selected it before, right? So you could just click it there and you can see that. Then we're going to sort it. So if you click on this button just above the bar chart here, it helps us to sort it, right? Then let's take out this retailer. We don't really need it. Take that out. And then let's take this one out as well. We don't need that too. Let's format it and take out those grid lines. So none. I don't need access sure. None. Access sure. No. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any borders or whatsoever, so we don't have to worry about that. Now for this, we could put it at 10 and make sure everything is black. Then for the text labels, just click on it, click on show mark labels, go here, make it in there, and that, and then come back here, make it a white color, right? Or you could just say match, no, sorry, make it a white color, or no, make it a white color. Now let's edit the profit so that we have everything as a, so this would be pane, then currency custom, millions, right? So 86, this. Okay. All right, so then we also want to make sure that we edit this. It should be right aligned. Yep. All right, so you want to make sure that it's right aligned as well. So we've got that. And then our profit by retailer is completed. Let's go to the next one. Oh, so there's something we have to do, which I just remembered. We have to make sure, because we're dealing with just the profit in the last quarter of 2021, we have to put a filter that ensures that all of these numbers are focused on 2021. So let's go back to the profit by state. I just remembered that. Drag the invoice date here. Now, we could just select quarters here and go next, right? But it has combined all the quarters from all the years. And I don't want to create a calculated field that extracts the quarters for each year. I don't want to do that. So I'm just kind of looking for the simple way out. So if we cancel this, drag your invoice date here, go to month and year, click next. We already know what months make up the fourth quarter, which is October, November, and December. So click apply and OK. So these are the states that made profit in the fourth quarter of 2021, right? So if you go to Alaska, we also have to do the same thing here. Drop it month here, next, October, November, December, apply, OK. So $1 million. Hawaii, do the same thing. Next, October, November, December, apply, OK. Then profit by retailer, we do the same thing. Month here, next, October, November, December, apply, OK, right. So we didn't do it for profit by quarter, which is our time series plot, because this one is, or you can already see the quarters there, right? And we know that we made $72 million in quarter 4 of 2021. So if you add up all these numbers, it will give us that $72 million. Okay, so now the next thing we will do is our profit by sales method. So profit by sales method. And we're just going to create an average here that would allow us to duplicate that. So this allows us to create a donut chart. We want to create a donut chart, right? So go to the first aggregate, change that to a pie. So we take sales method, drop it into color, and then drop the Britain this and there, right? So we have that pie chart with the different sales method, right? Outlet, in-store, and online. Then on the second one, we'd make this a circle, and we'll drop this into text, right? So I'll come back to that, or you know what? Let's start with that. So let's make this in the middle, and let's then match the color now, or let's make it white first. Yes. And then come here, make it a dual axis, and then synchronize the axis. Then increase the size. Too big. So let's just kind of keep it in the middle. And then we want to come back here and just do the formatting. So this should be currency custom. All right, 332 million. Let's make it 10 bold. Maybe we can make it 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. Then remember, we want this for Q4. So put invoice there. That's fine. All right, so you can see that $72 million there. Then, so this tooltip, we don't want it. All right, so we don't want the tooltip there. But this one, take this one out. We just need the sales method and this. So let's make this 14 review. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to take it and I'll put it at the top. Make sure it's black. Delete all of that space. So preview, yeah, 17 million. So whenever we hover around any of them, right, we see that there. Now let's edit the color. So I'm going to use the blue palette. Now let's see. So in store, I'll go with this. Online, I think I'll go with this, and then outlet, I'll go with this. Yep. So click OK. Then take out the axis, and then we'll do the borders. None. And then here, take out all the zero lines. So I'm just making sure, yes, I don't have any zero lines anymore. Right. Okay, so that is our donut chart looking nice and sweet. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we can go ahead and create our dashboard. So click that up. Remember, set the size, fixed size. So do 1100 by 600. Okay, then we'll start with a horizontal container. Layout, floating, 1100 by 600. And then we can grab our text and put it in there. So I want to call this Adidas Q4 2021. Profit breakdown, where, how, and who drove performance. So I will make this 12, bold and black. All right, just click OK. So it's going to show very small there, but maybe I can change this. Let me make this 10 instead. Yeah. All right. So the next thing I would do now is I'll take a vertical container. I should have put a vertical container first. Yeah. I'll delete this. I should have put a vertical container first. So So I had copied and pasted the text. So yeah. Okay, so now I can take a horizontal container and drop it in there. And the first thing I want to drop in that horizontal container, the first thing I want to drop in that horizontal container is going to be my let's see. Mm, mm. I will put what? Let's do this. I'll put this in there. I drop another. Which one did I pick? So I'm going to take a vertical container and I'll drop it in there. And I'm going to drop my profit by quarter into that one. Right. Then I will go to layout. So you can see that first horizontal container. Now I have that vertical container there. I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on it, and I will put a horizontal container inside there. And this would have my profit by state, and I'll put my profit, yes, by sales method. Then I will take up another horizontal container, and I'll place it, yes, at the end there, and I will drop my profit by retailer into it. All right, so for this, click on it and just make it fit entire view. And I could just move this a little bit, maybe the, do I want to move it a little bit? No, I think there's fine. Let's see. Okay, so I think I noticed something. You can see how all of this is off. So I must have the labels. So it should have been in the middle. Yeah, so this one should have been in the middle, not at the bottom. So now, okay, so I need to fix this one. I can just right click it here, format this, and make it there. All right, so everything looks good. Okay, so the next thing I need to do now is to clean this up. So we can, I'm going to move this up a little bit to give me some space to bring in the maps of Alaska and Hawaii. So you could choose to put that in a horizontal container, or you can just choose to just drop it there. So I would just drop it there and I'll show you how I do it. I'm just going to take this and I'll put it there. I would make this floating. I'll take off the title and then just, reduce the size. Grab it there. I'll reduce the size some more. So Now I can come back here to Alaska, move it down a little bit, which, because you can see that it's showing there. I could right click and just say map options. Oh, no. So let's see. Mm, okay, so if you hold Shift and with your trackpad, you can adjust the view of Alaska, right? So I think that is a good size for me. And then I would grab the other thing I want to do is I want to turn off that search. I don't want to see that search thing. Then I can grab Hawaii, do the same thing, make it floating, take out the title, and just reduce it. I want to make sure I have it at the same size as the last. Yeah, I think they're the same size now. Okay. Then, as usual, right click on it, map options, just off that search map. Then you can close this. All right. Ooh, I think Alaska is just a little bit big. Okay, now they're the same size. All right. So I could come back here to Hawaii and maybe try to increase it a little bit again. Let's see. Okay, so it increased here. Okay, so that's that. Then you can see that profit here, this legend profit. I need to bring it into where you have the profit by state. So go to your layout, click on the tile, open up the horizontal container, then click on profit. Then that would automatically select it. Then make it floating. And just grab that and bring it all the way down here. Now I want to also make it single row. Then reduce the size of this. Okay. So that way, anybody looking at this chart would kind of know that it's going from $1 million to $4 million. Then I need to do the same thing for the sales method too. So on your layout, just click on the sales method. It would highlight it here. Make it floating. Just drag it all the way down here. Then, okay. Then change this, arrange the items by single row. Increase that. Then all we'll just do is drag that in a little bit. And we can, yeah. So, but the other thing I want to do is I don't want to see the title, so I'm just going to take out the title. I can put it at the bottom there. Then this one, I think we can make it fit. Oops, no. And that entire. Oh, no, no. Okay, let's come back here. Let's make it Entire view. Hmm. So whenever I put it at fit height, uh, and that, okay, there's something that is causing it to do that. So, okay, maybe I should just put it on fixed width then. All right. Then this one, I think we're basically good to go for this one, right? There are no changes whatsoever to do on that one. So the final thing we're going to do here is to tell that clear story. And to do that, we just need to change the title, right? The title of each of these charts. But before I go in there to do it, I want to try and just create some border lines around all the different charts to properly differentiate them. So I'll click on this first one. Just come here and select the borderline there. That's all you need to do. Click on the donut chart, select that, click on profit by state, and turn that on. Make sure you're on layout in order for you to do this. Click on this one and just, yep. So this way everything is all um, in those boxes, which I think for me looks neat. I could shift this one a little bit, maybe center it. Uh, let's see. Mm, no, I think it looks good this way. I wanted to. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, okay. I think it looks good this way. All right. Now let's start with the profit by quarter. And all I just want to do here is change this to say profit peaked in Q3, slight dip in Q4. I will make this 12 or just maybe 11. So what I'm doing here is that I'm telling that story now. So anybody that sees this chart basically understands that in Q3 of 2021, we had the highest profit, right? But then you can see how it dipped from by like $8 million, right? So and then let's look at profit by state. Obviously, you know, the dark blue lets us know that those are the states with the highest profit. So we have Texas, uh, South Carolina, North Carolina, we have Pennsylvania, and there's Maine too, right? So, um, Pennsylvania had 4 million too. Yeah, Pennsylvania had 4 million too. So it's a pretty close call between South Carolina. And all of this is because I am putting it at zero decimal places, right? If it were to be, one decimal place, we would clearly see the difference. So for now, I would just go with the fact that um, Pennsylvania, Texas, and South Carolina are some of the leaders. So let's just put that here. So Pennsylvania, Texas, and South Carolina. And we put this at 10, apply, apply. Okay, so that's it. So let me just remember. Oh, I used 11. Okay. Let's make that 11. Apply. Okay. All right. So at first glance, you already know what states brought in the highest profit, right? So, and remember, our goal was to try to answer some of these questions, right? What are the profit trends over time? We could see that already. Which states or regions are driving the most profit? So we can see, Texas, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Maine, right? So we just now need to put a little bit of interpretation or explanation for the profitable partners as well as the sales channel or the sales method. So here for the sales method, let me put this at 11 first so I don't forget. Color black. So we could see that in-store and online channels drive most profits. Okay, so that we can see it here, right? You can see in-store is $27 million and online is $27 million as well, right? So 27 plus 27, that's 48, right? And so that's kind of what we have there. Then, so interesting. Okay. And then the last one, which is this one, we would have this as Foot, Foot Locker and Sports Direct outperform peers, right? So, which you can see here, Foot Locker and Sports Direct are the retailers with the highest profits, right? And Walmart is the lowest one. So let's make this 11. Okay, so basically, I believe we're done. Yeah. And we can see all of those explanations, right? That gives us an idea of where, how, and who drove performance in terms of profitability for Adidas in Q4 2021. All right, so the last thing I would ask you to do is please save this chart or this dashboard on your Tableau profile. And that's it. Now you know how to create an explanatory dashboard. Do like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.